maybe one of the most popular and iconic characters over the last 6 years, somehow made it into the Cars 3 video game without having a single line of dialogue in the movie. Today, we have none other than Rich Mixon. Now, it's kind of wild, this guy's claim to fame. Of course, he was just one of the new next gens, no more special than anybody else until he gets inserted into the Cars 3 Driven to Win video game alongside Cam Spinner, another next gen who did not speak in the film. Now, Cam Spinner was a bit different because his sponsor was actually an Easter egg that appeared in the Inside Out movie, so there's a little bit added depth there, whereas Rich Mixon, besides maybe some weirdness with his name there that I won't get into, he's just the tank coat next gen. But then when he gets released in 2018, he just exploded in popularity, became rare, then gets re-released from Thailand in late 2018, and that got rare, then got released in a Vietnam 11 pack, that got rare, and now he is back as a variant, of course, because he's got to hog the attention from everybody else. And yeah, today we're going to review this really cool looking variant from Thailand of Rich Mixon. That's right, there are now two Thailand versions of Rich. You have the Chinese one and the Vietnam, which are just kind of on the outside. And we're going to focus on this Thailand one today. It came out of 2023 Singles Case E, which I unboxed a week or so ago. I'll leave that link in the description below and card suggestion pop up in the top right hand corner. There's only one of these in the case, which is a little disappointing considering there's two of a couple McQueens, which are definitely unnecessary, but I guess Rich Mixon's rarity will probably continue. I know a lot of people were seeking this one out already. Now, when I pulled this one out of the case, I thought it was on a mint card. Then I realized that this corner up here, it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but I decided, hey, it's not perfect, it's not mint, so why not open it and do a nice little review on this pink guy. Yeah, he looks really good. Finally, we get to see him on a card. Oh, I can't believe I'm already opening it. Jeez, look at that. I'm just so excited. Hold on, Mr. Docket. We got to look at the back of the package first. Anyway, as seen in Cars 3, we have Jet Robinson, Pushover, Muddy Rust-eze Racing Sarah McQueen, Dirt Track Fabulous Hudson Hornet, Leroy Hemming, and Fair Game. These two have not been released yet for the year, but everyone else has, whether it be, in the last case, like Fair Game there. Jet also was. I think Leroy was in case C, and I think Fabulous Hudson Hornet was also in C. They're coming so fast and furious right now. They kind of all blur together for me, but hopefully these will be out soon, especially Pushover. I really do like him, but this one, yeah, Muddy Rust-eze Racing Star Light McQueen has been out over the last, 3 times plus over the last 4 years, so I've had enough of him. I can't believe I tried to bust this guy open prematurely. I've never done that. That just goes to show how excited I am to open this guy. All right, now you can, Mr. Docket. All right, we got the beast out of the package. Now, I know we probably all kind of know where he appears in the background of Cars 3, but there he is again. I think I'm going to show him at the Florida 500. I don't think he appears really anywhere before that. Could be wrong, though. Some of the next gens, obviously, were integrated in over time. In the first race, there's only a few, then more and more and more each time. I thought that was actually a pretty cool detail by Disney and Pixar. They could have easily just bam, they're all here now, deal with it. Everyone else is gone. But no, they're actually pretty deliberate with how they introduced the next gens. Now, I do not have the previous Thailand version of him, nor the Vietnam version of him loose. But that's okay. Those are old news. I will show pictures of them momentarily, though, just so you guys can get an idea of what's a little different. But I'm going to walk you through it. And I just really want to focus on this version of Rich now, kind of compare it to the Chinese version of him, which has always been touted as the best version of him. Obviously the Vietnam, I'm not sure if it's obvious actually, but the Vietnam version has a completely inaccurate spoiler, which is just, well, I guess it's a wing technically, but that's pretty ridiculous. So that version to me just doesn't even exist. But anyways, yes, we have the, of course, next gen tank coat logo here, the text, the TC. I like this pumping into the gas tank and coming out. I like that. You got the headlights, you got the vents down there, all of which, you know, you could feel the engravings on the mold. Now his eyelids here have a metallic vibe to it, just like the spoiler, which are really what make him such a unique variant. The fact that they added some metallic parts to Rich Mixon that we never had before. I mean, obviously some next gens have metallic to them. Like there was a variant of Tim Treadless, metallic. You know, Chase Racelet has those emerald patches. Steve's like LePage. Will Rush a little bit. But never on Rich Mixon until now. And I have to say it looks pretty gosh darn good. Although I think this might look a little out of place because it's like a completely different color from here and here. So it just looks just a little weird. But I think the spoiler looks great. The wing. The contingency sponsors look pretty clear. They're not great by any means. They're not as good as the Chinese version. But they get the job done. Piston Cup Combustor, Carbon Fiber, and Synergy. You have 36 there, all the arrows. Not a huge fan of the side art here with the like jail bars almost coming down on the TC. Just looks a little weird and busy. You can't really see the TC all that well. But you have exhaust pipes. The gas cap is way back here. Both, again, are engraved. He's got the opaque window inserts, roof flaps, 36. And then, yeah, this is why the spoiler looks so good, because you already have this gradient closing in on the darker side of the pink spectrum. And so when you see the spoiler, it just kind of all flows together nicely. And man, it just looks beautiful. Here's it side by side with the Chinese spoiler. And yeah, there's a pretty sizable difference there. The rims still don't look great to me, especially this front one here. Maybe I'm just singling out, but look, that almost looks blue right there. It's like just the way they spray it. They get like the inside and they get the outer trim, but the wheel well, they're like, ugh, that just looks horrible. Look at that right there. If you don't know what I'm pointing to, right along here. Just looks honestly trashy. And they've been struggling with that on all of the next gens since Thailand took over. On the back here, you have kind of the three-tone thing going on. TC in the middle. I love that centerpiece there. And you have the yellow rookie racing stripes. I think that all looks really good. He's got a nice glossy finish. He was made SO1A. That means the first week of 2023 at the A factory in Thailand. Wow. He is a 2023 graduate from the factory. Or he was born in 2023, whichever you want to look at it. Now let's compare them a little more closely to the Chinese version here. So the decals aren't going to be quite as clear. We already know that, but I do think that they're a little more vibrant on the Thailand version here. Like, especially look at the TC text right there versus on the Chinese version. Looks way better, in my opinion, on the Thailand version. Kind of the same thing with those roof numbers there. There we go. Yeah, the rims just look so much better on the Chinese version. Like, look, that's solid pink instead of all this grainy crap. I will say that the white arrow down on the Thailand version is not as profound as it is up there. 36 darker. All of this is a darker purple / magenta / pink. Excuse me. They got pretty similar windows. Of course, the spoiler's different there. And again, much more vibrant right here in the center pink square. Really nice. So each of them kind of have their pros and cons. I love the metallic spoiler, regardless of how accurate it may or may not be to the movie. Oh, by the way, his front bumper, see it? There's like a line right there. So this front part of him is a different shade of pink than right there. Whereas before, it was all the same. And you could see that it's a much brighter pink than kind of this whitey pink on the Chinese version. So yeah, the metallic parts are cool. They look nice. They make him stand out. He's got more vibrance to his decals. But the wheels are bad on the Thailand version. and overall, the decals aren't great. So it's really going to be hard for me to pick which one of these I prefer. But for now, take a look at the Thailand version that came out in late 2018. Not bad, right? I mean, I feel like if you can get this version of him from Thailand, it trumps that one pretty much immediately. That was in the infancy of Thailand's run. Now they're almost 5 years deep into it. That's pretty wild. And there's the Vietnam version. Nothing special about this one. The eye line is really defined there in the black. And of course, he has an inaccurate wing. And just like the shape of it is completely wrong. I'm not even talking about the color of it, right? Or the shade of pink. No, the shape of the entire wing is inaccurate. That was a huge blunder on Mattel's part. But before we close out for the day, I want to show a couple other versions of Rich Mixon. We have the Endurance Racer, which this one was made in Vietnam, so we kind of get a taste here. See, they got the wing right on this one, so I don't know what happened last time. Really is inexplicable. But yeah, the decals on this guy look really solid. You know, Vietnam does usually a pretty good job with the decals. Like, I remember their Chick Hicks is super crispy, and yeah, you could tell here too. They also do the rims well. It's like if only you could take the best parts of each country, combine them together, and you might just have yourself something special, right? You take Vietnam's decals and their wheels, you take the Thailand's eyes, and just kind of overall, because Vietnam can really screw up a car to the high heavens. Remember NASCAR Lightning McQueen? Oh my God. It's like the ceiling for Vietnam's pretty high, but the floor is way lower. Like when Vietnam is bad, it's really bad. Man, that NASCAR McQueen still haunts me to this day because it was, you know, I'm saying how clear their decals are. Well, on that one, they were so blurry. That is probably one of the worst cars Mattel has ever put out. And I'm not exaggerating. Truly, I am not exaggerating. We also have the Fireball Beach Rich Mixon here. Has a slightly different expression, and this was still made in China. So yeah, he's just a little sandy. He's got kind of a glaze finish to him. But yeah, I open up that NASCAR McQueen. I'm like, what the hell is this, man? I'm like, I'm putting this away, putting you back in the box. I just want to see Cruz. That's the only reason I bought this pack. And move on with my life. God, that was atrocious. But it had like a slightly different expression or something, so it was kind of like a variant. Ugh, gross. All right. Anyways, yeah, the whole Tanko team came out to celebrate this review, although it's not a sizable team. I don't even have a hauler for Tanko, and it's one of my favorite sponsors. This is the Motor Speedway of the South version of Eugene Carbureski, though, so that's pretty cool. You can see how glossy he is. We have the bonus collector card from 2018. We got custom crew chief Jerry drive chain here, the Pity. We have a factory custom pickup, and Reb Meeker, who is kind of like the odd one out of the family. I'm just kidding. Everyone loves you, Reb, but this is the superior version of Reb here because he is in the Cal Weathers mold. Isn't that wild? This is a factory custom, and it's one of the rarest factory customs ever. I've only ever been able to get this one, and man, I love it. So grateful to have it. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comment section below what version of Rich Mixon is your favorite. We now have 4 distinct variants of him: China, Thailand 1, Thailand 2, and Vietnam. And I'll tell you, hopefully you don't pick the Vietnam version. I don't think many people will, but hey, it does kind of have a unique look to it, especially if you don't really remember how it was supposed to look in Cars 3. All right, guys, thank you as always for watching. I'll see you on Thursday for a review of the now internet sensation Maddie McGear. That's right, a TikTok trend blew up, making her one of the most popular Cars characters in the entire franchise. Bye now.